Hi, I'm Snavely of LVNMUZIQ. I do love music, and so I really just thought, wow, this would look good as a website name, like LVNMUZIQ. And so, I just kind of took out some of the vowels and just put LVNMUZIQ, and the IQ is important because I feel like I'm a smart musician, so the IQ aspect of it was kind of a play on that as well. So I want to record and release my music because I feel like I have something to say. I want people to hear it, and I think music is the best way to be heard, universally speaking, like on a big level, and I got something to say, so this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm so passionate about music because I've always been a poet, and so the music is strong language that we have, very universal. I describe my music as toe tap and urban folk, though I think it's less toe tapping maybe than it maybe used to be, though I still tap my foot quite often. It's groovy music with a good message.
Twiddle my fingers, dig my toes.
Ever since I was a little kid, I always knew that I'd do something with writing or music, but I didn't know to what extent because I didn't play an instrument, so it was kind of hard to say I was going to grow up to be a musician. When I didn't even play an instrument whatsoever, but I always wrote poetry as a kid, and then as I got older and graduated from college, I got my first guitar and I just started playing it, but then I'd always lose patience with it, and my ADD would take over and I couldn't focus and my fingers would hurt and I had a lot of self-doubt, so I just kept giving it up, or I'd get involved in a relationship and then I'd let it stunt my musical growth, so to speak, and so I'd stop playing. And then, but I just always knew that it would be I don't know, I can't explain it, I just always knew that it'd be something that I do, kind of like being, like, gay. You just know that being a lesbian, I knew someday I'd be with a woman. It was just one of those things. I didn't know how it would happen or why or when, I just knew that that's the route that I needed to go, and I just slowly started getting more confidence to do it and started playing in my living room and then started going to open mics and that kind of thing, started practicing a little bit more, started believing in myself that I could actually, do something artistic and that the world would listen and that I'd have a good positive message. And so once I started believing that, then I finally worked toward, quitting my job and following my dream. It was very scary. I was in a position where I was helping my parents out financially a little bit here and there, and I made really good money at AT&T doing sales, and I liked my job at first, and the people I worked with were great, but it was just a very stressful job. I had very high quotas to meet, and I didn't feel like it was a very moral job, to be honest with you. I had to cross this line to try to get people to buy things, and it became sort of an unethical issue for me, and that bothered me, that I didn't feel very honest in my job. And then around the same time, though, my mother got very ill, and so I needed to spend more time with her, and I was probably going to lose my job there anyway, so it all worked out, in the end, that it was a cool thing, that I quit, but very scary because I was very comfortable financially. And once I started playing my guitar and learning how to write music on real basic chords, I wrote a song called Daddy, and it was about growing up with a single mother and growing up without a father who left me before I was born, and just being abandoned by a complete stranger, and how painful that was, that somebody didn't take the chance to get to know me, and I'm really not so bad, so it kind of ticks me off. So that's kind of what the song was about, and I don't ever sing it, probably will never release it on a CD. It's absolutely horrific in my opinion, but you have to start somewhere, and got rid of that white page, so it was a good starting point. I'm inspired by love, by breakups, by world events, by abuse. There's a lot of things that I see around me that are going on that I just am inspired to write about, just because I feel like the world needs it, including myself. It's kind of different for every song how I write, but I think the thing that remains pretty much the same is I just get a thought about something that I want to write about, because it's usually something I'm going through, or something I see someone else going through, or something I've read, or a movie I've seen, or something triggers a thought and I just can't get it out of my head, so I feel like I have to write about it. And so what I'll usually do is I'll just start writing down words that come to me about whatever topic it is that I'm writing about, and I'll journal about it. A lot of times when I'm driving, I'll be writing off to the side, but safely, of course. And then I'll take all those words, these pages of words, and then I'll just I'll put them together in a rapper sort of way, so that the words flow beautifully, poetically is real important to me, because first and foremost I'm a poet, and then I just know how to write music now, so I put music to it. But I still want the words to flow eloquently and beautifully and still have a message. And then the music usually comes. I try to figure out my groove, like is it going to be slow, medium, fast song. I really do categorize them like that, and kind of get the overall mood for the song, and then I just start playing around on the guitar, and eventually the music comes to me, and then I put it all together.